Hello. Well, we're back in the Northeast in Larchmont. It's not California, but the weather's still pretty nice overall. Kind of a little bit of an Indian summer, a little bit of rain, a little bit of warmth, foliage starting to happen. In any case, we're getting back with the program here, and today we're having a very simple 2010 Barolo by Bruna Grimaldi. And the name of this Barolo is Camilla. Grimaldi doesn't make really fancy Barolos. They make a few different ones, all mid-range. This is kind of in the middle of the range, but it's a 2010. It's had time to settle down, and 2010 was a good year for a very good year for Barolo. So ideally, you're gonna get some good quality from that. So let's see what we have here. I'm gonna pour some. It's you can see from the color, maybe, it's pretty pale. And by that, I mean it's sort of a pale brownish, not necessarily purple, but and it's got an orange rim. It could have been because of the age. It could have been that it was always like this. We don't really know for sure. But the color reminds me of other Barolos and Barbarescos that I've had that are 7, 8, 10 years old. So maybe it's something with the grape itself. And it's kind of nice because it's pretty clear. It looks light. It's not a very high alcohol. I think actually no, I stand corrected. It's 14.5% alcohol, so it's reasonably alcoholic. A bit medicinal, which doesn't bother me. I kind of like it actually, as we've discussed before. And still very, very alive. I mean, it doesn't really smell oxidated. It doesn't smell, tired. And it's got that freshness that comes with the alcohol that's still very present. So I think this is going to be, it's going to be a good wine to have with lunch or anything during the day. I don't really get the fruit yet. Or if it is, it's very light, very subtle. Maybe more on the cooked fruit side, which is sort of kind of. Let's taste it. The fruit you get in this wine is sort of a little bit subdued, but concentrated in a way at the same time. Maybe like if it was cooked, like sometimes you cook, I don't know, prunes or something with your meat or some sort of that kind of cooked fruit. I mean, not jammy because it's very sweet, but cooked and sort of meaning, I don't know how to say it, maybe a little dense. But very tasty. Some of the comments has talk about fruit cake, and maybe that's what you mean. Like you've got some fruit that's been in the oven for a bit, not necessarily dried fruit, but cooked fruit. And it's interesting. It's an interesting one, meaning it keeps sort of, keeps you guessing a little bit. It's not necessarily super complex, but it's not this sort of nice, 2016 Lange or Nebbiolo that you just buy and drink right away and you really enjoy, but you sort of wonder whether, whether it's very complex. This is kind of in between. It's got complexity. It's not super complex, but at the same time, it's not like something you just drink without thinking about it. I like the menthol and medicinal part keeps coming back. And the light but dense fruitiness also stays with you, and the finish is pretty nice as well. It doesn't really disappear very quickly. I think this is a great example of, again, buying a reasonable middle of the range wine from like a Barolo from a nice region on a very good year. So you don't have to spend the money, but you know that if you have it 5 years later or 10 years later, you're going to enjoy it. And you're going to be pretty happy you had it without shelling out big bucks. Anyway, cheers, and we'll see you soon.